everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is a blue-collar wine show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. And there's no better time to spend your wine dollars wisely than during the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, for that matter. So, what I decided to do for Thanksgiving is focus on particular groups of wine that would work, instead of doing like 4 different kinds of wines. Although when I do the whites, I probably will do different whites. I have a couple of really cool whites that I'm going to share with you. But what we're going to do now is Gamay and Pinot Noir. They seem to be the pick for a lot of people. Beaujolais Nouveau is Gamay. Beaujolais Nouveau has fallen off the cliff. Basically, it's not as popular as it used to be. Mainly, I think, because they raised the price. Used to be able to get George Duboeuf Beaujolais Nouveau for like $10 a bottle. Now it's up to $15, $16 a bottle. And, you know, for a brand new wine, it's kind of carbonic maceration sort of thing. Maybe that's not where people are going. I don't even bring it in anymore. A lot of people don't offer it anymore. It's just kind of fallen off the map, basically. There's probably still some areas that do it. I'm sure they still do it over in France quite a bit. Anyway, so I'm going to focus on Pinot Noir and one Gamay, all very reasonably priced, which is important when you have people over and you're sharing your wine. You want to have something that is affordable, right? That's the point. Now, I'm going to review these wines. These are wines I know about, but I'm not sure what they're going to be like. So let's do it. Let's do it. We're going to start out with a Gamay. So if you say Beaujolais Village on the label, or anything Beaujolais, it's going to be Gamay. That is the name of the grape. Kissing cousins to Burgundy. They're right in the same area, just a different grape. Pinot Noir, of course, is the main grape of Burgundy, and Gamay is the main grape of Beaujolais. And there's Cru Beaujolais, there's all that. We are going to do the 2022 Jean-Marc Bracad Beaujolais I'm going to mess this one up. Lantigny, which is a particular village in Beaujolais, a particular appellation, I should say, in Beaujolais. And this rolls in at $21. So a lot of people like Louis Jadot, Beaujolais Village, that's Gamay. And it's so close to Pinot Noir that it makes such a good match. And why does Pinot Noir make such a good match with turkey? I mean, a lot of people do it. You probably do. In fact, if you'd like to comment, do you prefer Pinot Noir with your turkey dinner? Pinot Noir, Burgundy, whatever, Gamay, is that your preference? It is for a lot of people. Why does it work? Well, partially because of the acidity. You have a lot of fatty foods in turkey, and you know, a lot of different types of dishes. And Pinot Noir just has that kind of nice little funnel, that nice little dimension that fits right in there. It has enough acidity to match the food. It has a flavor profile that seems to match most of the dishes. So a lot of people like Pinot Noir. And by the way, Pinot Noir is very popular. So you serve a Pinot Noir at your dinner, most people are going to like it, if it's a good Pinot for the money. So we're going to do this Beaujolais Lantigny Gamay from the land of Burgundy. Fairly dark in color, actually. Darker than I thought it was going to be. Like kind of a purple black. Interesting. Let's see what we get on the nose. Getting some nice, really dark cherry notes. A little bit of a dark cherry and a little bit of earthiness, but not big time dirt. Just a little bit of earth, cherries. Even getting a hint of ripe strawberry underneath. And maybe just a kiss of licorice. Let's see what we get on the palate. Oh, sorry. Okay. Cherry notes come through. Spicy. I like that. And when it comes to like Thanksgiving, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of spiciness to your wine. This has that spice to it. Nice dark cherry notes, a little bit of a kind of a dried bark action coming through. Tannins are there, but they're light, good acidity. This is what I would consider a really good turkey wine because it has the acidity to cut through some of the fatty foods, but at the same time it has that nice mellow kind of easiness, not too tannic. When you're talking turkey, you don't want heavy tannins. So it seems to be a good match. I like the licorice notes that come through on the backside. I don't know why I'm spitting all of a sudden. I'll change that. Old habit. I do it at the office all the time. Licorice notes, nice. Like I said, the acidity is good. Good balance on this wine. This is a pretty stellar Gamay for $21. And I like the finish on it, kind of long. You know, it has a longer finish to it. A little bit of a, not cranberry, but hedging towards cranberry on the backside. I like the spicy notes. I think this would be a great match with turkey. $21 for a really solid Gamay. It's a fair price, for sure. I'm going to go B plus A minus on that. I think it's a really solid Gamay. Earthy, nicely integrated acidity, good balance across the palate, nice complexity with that kind of cherry, almost a little bit of a orange citrus note coming through on the backside with the licorice and a little bit of spice. Very, very nice Gamay. I'm super impressed with this. B plus A minus. Now, we're going to move on to now this one's a mystery to me. This is the 2021 Erath Pinot Noir from Oregon. Doesn't say Willamette Valley, it just says heart. What does it say? Grapes from the earth, wines from the heart, Erath. Earth and heart, Erath, I get it. $23. So Michael Jordan. I'm a little puzzled with this wine because I've tried it in the past. Very popular. Very popular. In fact, a little shout out to Lauren. She always laughs at me when she asks me how much Erath should I bring into the store. She knows I just kind of have this like weird thing about Erath. But to be fair, I'm going to review it. $23, again, a fair price for an Oregon Pinot Noir. And it's picked up recently, so I said I want to try the 21 vintage to see if that's why. Because, you know, if they're vintage oriented, that's a cool thing. I love wineries that follow the vintage. They don't dial in certain things to make it the same way every year. They let the vintage talk. As you can see through this, fairly light, like reddish color. Let's see what we get on the nose. Asian spice, I like that. Cherries, a little strawberry, and a little hint of root beer, which is not surprising from Oregon. But I do like the Asian spice tones that are coming through on the nose. That's always a cool thing with Pinot Noir. Some of the Pinots from Burgundy, the more expensive ones, have an extreme amount of Asian spice. That is a characteristic of Pinot that I really like. Nice cherry notes. Let's see what we get on the palate. Okay, this might be the best Erath I've tried. Nice Asian spice notes come through. Nice balance. The acidity is kind of medium, hedging toward medium minus, but still it has the acidity, nicely integrated. Very earthy on the palate with the cherry notes. So you get that kind of, I always say dry bark, kind of feeling of dry bark. But if you smelled it, I don't doubt if you ate it. I haven't eaten dry bark in a long time. Fairly smooth on the palate. I mean, pretty smooth. This would be a crowd pleaser. I get it now. The last time I tried this, maybe a couple years ago, I thought, why do they buy so much of this Erath? I understand this one in particular. Even getting a bit of strawberry plum notes coming through on this one. No cranberry action at all. I like the Asian spice tones that come through as well. Good balance, good complexity. This would be a great turkey wine for sure. Even getting they like to say sarsaparilla, I say root beer, just on the back side of this one. The finish is fairly long. I'm impressed, I really am. I'm going to go straight up B+. I'm going to go B+ on that one. Solid Pinot Noir. I'm glad I tried it. Now I understand why this particular vintage has picked up a little bit, because it's a good vintage. 2021 for them. Let's move on. The last two are Benziger wines. They're different labels, but I love Chris Benziger. Such a cool guy. And they do such a good job at their winery. They're biodynamic. They do a lot of sustainable practices down at their winery. A lot of organic practices. Really cool winery, and they do some nice stuff. And they do it at a very, very reasonable price. And I think, like I said, I've always said, if you're doing turkey dinner and you have 8 people over, 5 to 8 people over, you want something reasonable. So this is the 2021 Benziger Family Winery Pinot Noir, California. This rolls in at 15 bones. I've turned a lot of people on to Benziger. I think it's just a great value. For those of you who like Oregon Pinot, I think the Erath is a great call. If you like Gamay from Beaujolais area of France, that's a great call. Let's see this one. So $15, good color. You can still see through it. A lot of times with California Pinot, you expect a little bit more of the love handles, a little bit more, fruit. So let's see what we get on this one. Again, Asian spice, I love it. Love Asian spice on the nose. Some dark cherry notes coming through. The cool thing about doing all Pinots or Gamays, you get a lot of the same aromatics. I mean, just the same grape, right? There's a tiny bit of a hit of cranberry underneath on this nose. Even getting a little red flower component, which I really think is cool. Let's see what we get on the palate. Kind of fleshy, which is great. Obviously more sunshine down there, more intense sunshine. So kind of fleshy. I get some Asian spice on the backside. I like the fleshiness though. That's cool. The tannins are smooth, obviously, because Pinot isn't known to have really heavy tannins, which again, when you're talking turkey, it really makes sense. You have the stuffing, the yams, which have some butter on them, so you got that buttery fat that you have to get through. The acidity on this is good. And then you have the turkey, which I know people are getting better and better at making turkey, but it still can be dry sometimes. So you don't want powerful tannins, you want the acidity, and this is such a nicely balanced Pinot Noir, just seriously. And I like the fleshiness of the mouthfeel on this one. There's even an interesting slight tobacco tone coming through on the backside of this one. The Asian spices really come out on the end, or the finish on this one, a lot. The acidity is nicely integrated. Almost cherry skin too. You get the cherry, but you get the cherry skin. A little tea action as well. Okay, talking QPR, quality price ratio. This is stellar for $15. I'm going to go straight up A-. I mean, for what you're getting for the money, the quality is there, and it's $15. I mean, it's an A- wine. Seriously, it is. Now let's go to the Benziger family again. This is a James Benziger. I think this is Imagery Pinot Noir 2021 California. And again, this is $16. So only a buck more than the Benziger label. So when they take California, they can source their fruit from many areas. And, you know, Benziger owns a lot of their own vineyards, so, but they probably source it from other places outside of their state. Imagery. Cool label, though. I really like this. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's the sister that is the winemaker for this winery. But I can't remember for sure, so don't quote me on that. Again, you can see through this wine, it's about the same color as the Benziger. Let's see what we get on the nose. Well, that's an interesting aromatic. What does it remind me of? It almost has like a Jolly Rancher sort of Kool-Aid thing going on the nose. Licorice and cherries for sure. Maybe just a kiss of like red Twizzler. And a little bit of cinnamon, which is really cool. Well, that would be part of Asian spice. So this doesn't have the full Asian spice notes, just a little bit of cinnamon. Let's see what we get on the palate. Well, this is cool. Okay. So let's say you like a lighter starter Pinot Noir, like a lot of Oregon Pinots are, or sometimes Burgundy. This is light on its feet. Light. I mean, it's sort of like a ballerina, but it has some muscle. It has a lot of flavor. It's light, but it has flavor. This again is not as fleshy as a Benziger, but a little bit more finesse to it. This had finesse, don't get me wrong, but not meaty. I'm getting some chocolate tones. I'm getting definitely chocolate, which is interesting for a Pinot Noir. Asian spice comes through on the backside big time. A little white pepper as well. Nice integration, nice flow across the palate. Like I said, it's light on its feet, but it packs a punch at the end. Dark cherry. Oh, imagine having a dark cherry chocolate cake, but not sweet. The flavors of chocolate. Sometimes that's hard to explain. You say chocolate, people say sweet. Yeah, there's a little bit of fruit to this, but it is so elegant that it just has so much finesse and lots of flavor. The lightest of the bunch, for sure, even lighter than Erath from Oregon. But it does pack a punch, and I like the spice on the backside. I can't imagine there was anything in the turkey dinner that would overpower this. But initially, the initial attack might be, but it's $16, guys. I mean, come on, really, 16 bucks. A little lighter than I expected from this wine from California, which is amazing, really, considering, 2021. I like it, though. I think it's elegant. It's kind of Burgundian, but not, because it has some of that chocolate tones, which you don't get from Burgundy. I like the Asian spice. I like the integration. I like the balance. So a little bit light, just saying. So for those Pinot Noir people that you don't know they like Pinot Noir, so you have this Pinot Noir on your table, they're probably going to like it because it's just easy to drink, nice quaffing. I'm going to go there, quaffing Pinot Noir. That would go well with a meal. I'm going to go B plus on that one. Nice lineup. Nice lineup. So we have two in the $15, $16 range. Get up into the Michael Jordan at 23, which is good price for an Oregon Pinot Noir. And then we have a Gamay that's stellar for $21. There you have it. I think the next episode I'm going to do is a couple of white wines that I'm really excited about that I think work with Thanksgiving meal. And then we'll do a third one. I don't know yet what that's going to be, but we're going to do it. And, it's always fun to do these episodes because you know, Thanksgiving can be tough, and I know Pinot Noir and Gamay are probably the #1 choice of a lot of you. And you let me know what you think. I've been watching a couple of YouTubes lately, and just to see what people are suggesting, and they're all over the place, you know, which is interesting to me. It used to be kind of like 4 or 5 wines that people went for, and now they're just going crazy with the suggestions. But I think this is a safe choice, Pinot Noir, for those of you that are getting together with family and want to just have a nice dinner with reasonably priced wines. Thanks for taking a little time of your day. I appreciate it very much. I really do. And I appreciate the support that you give me. That means a lot to me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That way you can see what's coming up. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.